Hello. Today I'm going to be showing you how the pre-alpha combat for Anvil Empires is looking so far in the closed alpha testing. The devs want me to stress this, and I want to stress this, it's pre-alpha. This game is going to change so much between now and full release. If you were coming to play Anvil and expect it to be the next Mordhau or Chivalry, then you will probably be really disappointed. So right now, this is how the devs have implemented combat. When you engage in combat in any way, you will enter what is called a combat mode, which restricts your movement. The reason to restrict your movement during combat is so you're not jumping around all the time, going around in circles and just swinging wildly. They really want this combat to seem strategic with your team. No one player should be able to run out there and just circle jump all around and take out every single player. They're basically trying to stop players from shadow dancing like they do in Foxhole. They've stated that they want combat to end swiftly and not end up having players just kite one another around. They've added this kind of basic mechanic that helps players kind of group together. They added a shield wall mechanic where players holding their shields up and standing next to one another grow stronger. They get a stronger guard against other attacks. That's where working together in these strategic plays come into the gameplay. You can see from this picture and this video that they've given melee a range to attack at, and it helps to see the direction that you're attacking at as well. That little white circle is where you're going to be hitting. As of right now, at the end of the day, the goal is to make the combat strategic and not just some responsive Twitch-based gameplay. Forming up as a group is more important than your aim and the timing of your attack, as the devs have stated. As we have to remember, and I can't stress this enough, it's pre-alpha, so the combat is just very functional, but it's very unpolished as well. You might see some stuttering and some wonky behavior in combat. Because this is pre-alpha, we have a long ways to go, so we're probably going to see combat evolve quite a bit between now and full release. And right now, after playing it, they're keeping it very basic. I mean, all we have right now are swords, shields, bows, spears, and two-handed axes. If you look at how many weapons are in Foxhole, I'm sure we're in for a lot of weapons in Anvil as well. Right now as well, they have melee team kill disabled, which is great, but you can still team kill with a ranged bow. So make sure you watch where you're aiming. I think the melee combat will really make or break this game. I feel like if there's not some special mechanics added for maybe different weapons, the average player is probably going to refund this game pretty quickly, but that's just my own opinion. And as of right now, during these early alpha test days, it's really hard to find combat right away. It's unfortunately not like Foxhole right now where you can just spawn to the direct front line and start getting into combat right away. And as of right now, sword combat is kind of just swing away. It would be really interesting if there was some sort of parry element. You can use shields to block some of the swings, but again, right now it's just sort of a hack and slash. And I'm not saying, again, it has to be anything fancy like Mordhau or Chivalry. Again, just adding maybe more weapons will make it more unique. An interesting thought a player mentioned to me in game was maybe add a % chance for the arrow to cripple players from the bow. Some other feedback that I would add is I think there needs to be some consumables that give you some sort of speed boost or maybe rejuvenation. I'm sure all of these things could be in the works right now, and again, we're probably just playing at the basic level. Something that does give some kind of speed boost would be really great for chasing people down and killing them. Right now, I noticed that there's really no audio cues for when you do block, so it'd be really great if they added some sword hitting a shield audio. And as of right now, bowing people down is really hard. I feel like we'd see a lot more archers in these attacks if the archers could arc their shots like some sort of siege weapon. That way they can still stay in the back, protected from the front line, and then still take out some enemies as well. It would be like a little mortar team. As of right now, it's really hard to find battles as well because, again, you can't just spawn at a front line and get into the battle. So you have to rely heavily on map posts. Luckily, the devs have implemented some new map posts that you can put on the map, which I would love to see this in Foxhole as well. This should hopefully help finding attacks a lot sooner. Something else I noticed while fighting quite a bit in this test is there's not a lot of healing mid-battle, so it's not like getting shot in Foxhole, running off, maybe using a bandage and then getting right back into it. You are pretty much just having to battle the whole time. There's no time for healing. I'm pretty indifferent on how the healing should work. Should it be like a bandage in Foxhole? Let me know your thoughts in the comments on this. I for sure want some type of medic roll. I just don't know how it would look. Overall, I have to remind you all throughout this video that it is pre-alpha, so we have a long way to go. I'm really excited for water raids, like taking boats down the river and raiding at night. I think that'll be really cool. It's going to be really interesting because there's going to be no AI structures in this game at all. So I feel like this game could play out like Rust almost, where you could do operations in the middle of the night and then you wouldn't have much opposition. I don't know how players are going to feel about that. I would honestly probably hate to see Anvil kind of try and be a Rust type game. I would rather them stick to what they're good at, which is like the Foxhole mechanics. Let me know how you feel about that in the comments. Overall, it's been really fun exploring the map and raiding other villages with players. It's been really fun playing with you all in the pre-alpha tests, and I can't wait for it to open up so other players can enjoy it as well. If you haven't already, join the Anvil Discord so you can know when the next playtest is. What weapons would you like to see in Anvil come out? Let me know in the comments. If you have played, or from what you can tell from the videos, what do you think of Anvil's combat so far? What would you like to see, or what would you like to change? Again, let me know in the comments. With all the mods that we have in Foxhole, I would really like to see a Star Wars mod for Anvil. I'm going to be covering as much Anvil content as I can, so make sure to subscribe for more Anvil content. Thank you so much for watching, and cheers.